What's up, guys? I'm just gonna post on Picket that I'm going live. I forgot to do that before I hopped on the stream, so bear with me. If you got any questions, let me know. Have not. It's been like over a month since we did a Sharp Money stream, so excited to get going. And we got a ton of NBA games on today, so there should be some good action, some good line movement charts to look at and discuss. So if you guys got questions, let me know. All right, give me 1 minute. All right, should be good. Finally got some decent weather up here in New England. It was like, well, I think it was like 40 today, but it was t-shirt weather. I got this little setup in my basement. It's the first time I haven't had my little space heater on next to me, so that's a good sign. I think tomorrow's going to be like in the 50s, so good stuff. All right, posts are out there. All right, let's look at. I'll do a little recap of kind of where I'm at right now. Let's see. I'll give you guys a big screen. So I'm up to 58K in profit. We're looking at 27,000 bets so far placed. I've maintained a 3.2% ROI, which is kind of crazy. The last year when we started the Sharp Money Discord, I've been so focused on just the line movement. And I think it's so key. Like if you're a Sharp Money member and a lot of our plays that you see are like 1% EV, but we always return much higher than 1% because we're playing, good steam plays. I almost think that we could essentially just get the best price in the market on an event that is steaming in one direction, and you'll probably be profitable just by getting the best price, even if it isn't even actually EV at the moment. That's just a theory I have, but so good looking year and a half here. This month has been decent, I think. Yeah, same thing, about a 3.3% ROI, up $900, only 200 bets, so nothing crazy. But let's get into some plays. I haven't hit many plays at all today. I've been kind of busy, and this one looks great right off the bat. So let's fix my screen. All right, this looks really good. This is a play on MGM with one of the books I have here. We get a first half point spread. The Suns plus 2.5, minus 115. It's about a 1.7% EV play, but since this market, it's steaming so hard, I do think that will return more than like a 1.7% ROI long term. It was at like 13 on Pinnacle and got priced down to minus 130. Like that kind of movement is just insane. And we're going to get a crazy good price if we buy it right now at minus 115 plus 2.5. Yeah, this is a crazy good price. Hawks for Life says only 81 here. Yeah, that's rough. Let's see. I'm probably not going to get too much down here on this first half spread, but we'll try. This is a crazy good line. Once you get this bet in, $53, not terrible for MGM. Some mainline stuff I can get a little bit more. So like our bot flags, I typically play these good steam plays. If I'm not really in the bankroll growth stage anymore, so I'm kind of just max betting things. But we recommend about 1 unit here. But with the type of steam like this, I'd encourage people to go a little bit heavier on these types of plays, to be honest. All right, that's the only one in BetMGM right now. I'm gonna go to FanDuel, see what we got here. This is like a pretty stale market. It's pretty flat. Pinnacle is priced at minus 121. FanDuel has kind of gone up and down here, but they were priced at minus 110 a couple hours ago. They're still priced at minus 110. So something I'm not going to go crazy about because we only have a 1% edge here. I want to see a little bit more of an edge if I'm not playing movement. So this one is debatable to play, to be honest. Aaron actually asked a really good question. He said it was a silly question, but it's not. When do you take out profits? So if you are in the beginning of like your bankroll growth, you should leave all your money in there and just keep scaling it. Like whatever money you put in to start profitable sports betting, view it as an investment. Like you're going to put it in the stock market. Like that's just money you shouldn't touch for at least like a year. And basically, the first time I ever took my profits out was about 1 year into my betting journey, where I made like $25,000, and I had pretty much all this extra money in a lot of these books that I wasn't using because I just couldn't get like that type of volume down. So I would only take your profits out, obviously, like in a family emergency, or you need them, you're short on rent. They take that money out, but never start your journey doing that. You're going to take profits out until like way down the line, because you want to be able to scale with it. So yeah, once you don't need that money to grow anymore, then that's when I would take it out. Rob also made pointed this out too. Yeah, keep it until you don't need it, and basically take some out to pay taxes. Yeah, if you're going to claim it at the end of the year, like you're going to owe, like my state, it's like 30% that you have to pay back. So yeah, use that money to pay off the taxes at the end of the year. Yeah, ET, I kind of mentioned this. There's no good way to really. So the question is, can you go over what you look for in a chart that isn't EV at the moment but has steam to a good price later? So I said this is kind of a theory. I haven't actually been doing this, but the fact that we can play like 1% edges and return, to like 3 or 4% ROIs would probably mean that we can play a non-EV play with steam and get value. So I don't necessarily have a true answer for that. What I will say, if I want to like be a degenerate and bet, then I will just like look into the markets and see where the steam is like has moved, and I just bet that way. That's just like me recreationally betting. But I kind of have this theory, like I know, and I'm not a stock trader at all, but people, when you make money, even selling or buying and selling this, sports picks or stocks, you're looking for like volatility in the market, or just like big price swings, right? So if you see, like, this is just a theory, if you see a line open up and let's just say the odds move like 10% in one direction, I bet you opening lines that move 10% in one direction end up moving 20% in that direction, or the majority of them move that direction. It's same thing with stocks, for people, like once they see a stock go up or down 20%, then it's kind of like an indicator for them to go look, and that market usually continues going. So complete theory here, like don't just start betting negative EV plays with steam, but I'm pretty sure I might be on something there, but I don't know. I like just playing the low EVs that have steam. That's been working for me. And the other thing too is, when you get crazy limits like me, especially on like FanDuel, the only way you're going to get money down is if you're playing like mainline stuff, like spreads and totals for the full game. And if FanDuel is not going to be off 4% to the market on a mainline spread, so you're going to have to play low EV plays to like get your money out. So if you can do low EV plays with the steam, you can still return really good profits, I think. Here's one without a chart. This one's just bookmaker. I think these are a couple plays for tomorrow, college plays. I don't really want these. Here's one though. Is it tonight? Cleveland State versus Youngstown State. So here's one I actually really do like. As long as this one's still here, it looks pretty good. This is an over 136.5 at minus 110, 3% EV, really nice. Pinnacle moving from minus 122 to minus 124 or 23. It's not really a big move, but we do have the Circa fair value at minus 118, which is giving us some good value, and bookmaker as well. So this is a play that I definitely like, because bookmaker and Circa are the sharpest for college sports, but I do like to see Pinnacle as well, just kind of agreeing. When you get all three of those guys agreeing on a price, then we got to take it, especially with that little movement down. It could have just been like them increasing the VIG or something, but they're just changing the price, but it's not moving up. So that's pretty good. Anyone in the free section that has been using the free DraftKings bot? If you don't know, we have a paid version where you pay for all the different bots we have for all these different sports books, but we just made the DraftKings bot completely free to all of our members. So I hope people are really taking advantage of that and starting to understand what we're looking at and how to make money and find good plays. So I will go. Let's go a full unit here. Wow, 495. Not bad. That's pretty good for college. Kind of worries me a little bit when FanDuel takes that much money. I guess I don't really see the movement too much. All right, I might chop this one down just a hair. I'm probably going to go. Yeah, you know what? Full unit's fine. So yeah, I'm going to go a full unit on this one. I would have liked to see. There's no chart for Bookmaker and Circa, so I would have liked to see some downward movement, but Pinnacle's going down a little bit, and FanDuel's flat. So, all right, is that it for FanDuel? So, all right, here's another. This is a really interesting one as well. This is a first quarter point spread. So this is what I would call like a really small market. First quarter markets or these derivatives don't really take that many or that large of waiters on like Pinnacle, which is the book that we find value on. So like this moving from minus 115 to minus 118, like if these limits might only be like $500 max bets for Pinnacle. So, a couple $1,000s could move the market pretty easily. So I try to avoid these, but we can actually look into this one. It's another weird one right here, actually. A lot of these 1% EV plays. All right, I'm going to pull up Pinnacle Odds Dropper, which I use sometimes with our bot just to kind of get a look at the limits. Hopefully we can actually display limits soon. That's one of the things that we're going to be able to add. But let's look at this Hawks 76ers play. I just want to show you the difference between like a first quarter spread and like what the limits are difference. Because we can, anything with like a larger limit, you can trust more. Now these limits are actually extremely small. Right now, like a full game money line is $2,500, and you typically can get down like 20,000 before the game starts. So this basically tells me that there's probably some huge injury news that has yet to break on this Hawks 76ers game. So they're not accepting big wagers because they have no idea who's playing right now. Pinnacle's at 138 on Youngstown over. So, yeah, Pinnacle is at 138, which is really good for us because we got it at 136. So we like Pinnacle's at 138 for their main line, then we're getting 1.5 to them. And Circa's at 138 and Bookmaker's at 137.5, unless the market's turning against us, but I think that's a good play, unless I'm misunderstanding that comment. Yeah, so this is a bad example here. The green line is following the odds increase. Oh, you mean on Pinnacle. I gotcha. Let me look. What was it? Cleveland State. Let's see, the over 38. Yeah, so I see what you mean on this chart. It moved from like when this price went up minus 131 to like minus 103, and then we have this little dip from minus 103 down to minus 105. So yeah, I don't like the movement isn't really that good here, but we do have a 3% edge, so that gives us a little bit of breathing room. All right, I'm getting pings like crazy right now. So some news is breaking on this Hawks 76ers game because these lines are tanking. All right, so this is kind of what we want to see. This is a lot of good plays here. All right, Jazz plus 9.5. We'll do Jazz plus 11.5. It has more EV. First half spread against the Celtics. Big drop here, so someone must have got ruled out. Let's see, or ruled in. It's minus 130. It's still a good price. Still EV. So Jazz plus 11.5 for the, is that a first half spread? Damn, that's high. We got it at minus 130. The bot pinged at minus 128. We see a little, it looks like maybe the market overcorrected real quick and then bounced back up. It's a 2.5% EV play. We got it at minus 130. So we're probably looking at about a 2% EV play. All right, I got a couple of things to catch up on. Josh asked if I use Odds Dropper. Yeah, if you mean Pinnacle Odds Dropper, I stream for Outlier, and they don't have line movement graphs, so I typically will open up Pinnacle Odds Dropper. But I also like to use it to like teach people how like Y lines move and get a better picture of the market and like the limits and stuff. So I use it once in a while, but not too often. And someone said that Trae Young is out, so that's probably why I don't know what those Hawks plays were, but they were probably not for the Hawks, obviously. KJ Williams said that he's new, just wants to hang out and learn how to talk about plus EV betting instead of just blind knowledge about the sports. Thanks in advance. Yeah. So welcome in. If you haven't joined the SharpMoney Discord, check that out. It's a Discord I run that has all these bots that find plays. You're commenting from YouTube, so you probably see my YouTube channel, but I have a lot of educational videos on plus EV betting that explain a lot of these concepts. So definitely check that out if you're interested. Honestly, I think anyone can make money sports betting if they can kind of just drop their ego, start with a clear mind and just like understand the concepts. And if you're eager to learn, like you're going to figure this out really quick. And it's really not that hard to make money. You just have to be, disciplined and not bet with your gut all the time. You're welcome, KJ. Hopefully the stream helps you out, or at least you find it interesting. Okay, so it looks like Circa these lines are probably gonna be dead because Circa just opened. This Hawks 76ers, so the under pinged. Like I said, Trae Young ruled out. Yeah, this market's probably pulled. Yeah, if big news like that breaks, it's probably hard. It's really hard to actually get the plays in sometimes. So we see the inverse of the last chart we just hit, but this is the one we want to avoid because we just hit the Jazz getting 14.5 first half. This is full game though. But same thing, we see this, we saw the dip, but now we're looking at the other side of the line. So we see this increase, and we don't want to take a bet that is increasing. Like if FanDuel had this at -1, or this is ESPN. ESPN had it at -140, and now they're offering -120. We don't want to take it at -120 because the market is trending this way. If we grab it at -120 now, it might close at -110, and we just gave up 10 cents of value by taking it now. So it's a play that I would avoid. Yeah, Gronola said best thing when starting out is learn how to find EV bets and then learn about the sport. I completely agree. Especially like a lot of people want to get into profitable sports betting because they're obviously knowledgeable about the sport and they want to use that knowledge obviously to make money. But what I would say is first understand plus EV betting, how the sports books markets move, how the lines are made, how the odds are set, understand, win probability, bet sizing, bankroll management, all that stuff before you just start going to place bets. Even if you're going to use your knowledge in the future about the sport, then you want to have a good background in the plus EV side of everything. Because every bet you place is technically plus EV, even if you're coming up with that price yourself. All right, here's a nice one. It's only 1% EV, but I like this. First quarter point spread, Portland Trailblazers plus 5.5. Pretty steep movement from we got this like -144 down to -160. That's a nice little movement there for us. So we're gonna grab this one. Portland plus 5.5 -140. Still there. We're good to go. 140 max bet. And so I'll use this one as an example to pull up on Pinnacle Odds Dropper. Portland Trailblazers, a lot of Portland teams. So this was a first half alternate line, I believe. First half plus 5.5. Yeah, some pretty good stuff here. Pinnacle limit is at $3,000, which means they're accepting $3,000 wagers. It's kind of the threshold where I start feeling like pretty confident in a market. So they're priced at $3,000, and they've been priced down from 131 down to 119, which is exactly what our bot displays. Oh, am I looking at the wrong? I'm looking at first quarter spread. It's probably the same thing. Hold on, first quarter plus 5.5. Yeah, so this is the drop that we picked up. Minus 146 down to minus 160. That's the chart that we just picked up. Limits have stayed at 1K. So, someone just hit this line down at 1K. So limits aren't great, but we do have the movement. We'll see what happens. Josh said he's got a bunch of good EV plays on tennis, but he's down today. Tennis makes or breaks you. Jiggy asked, how do you know if a play is fake EV? So there's a couple ways to interpret that question, I think. If you're talking about like the market head faking you, where like the odds move and then they move back or something, some sharp bettors will like put a ton of money on one side of the line to get a better price and then buy it for even more on the other side of the line. But that probably only happens like 1% of the time. So to worry about like a head movement play or like a fake play, I'm just not worried about it. You're going to get caught in some bad situations sometimes, but as long as we're right more than like 50% of the time, we're good. If you mean like if it's fake EV play, like if it'll actually return, this 1% long term, it's kind of trial and error, but basically you just go under the assumption that you want, as long as you can keep beating the close price. Like if I get Trailblazers plus 5.5 and the line closes plus 4.5, then I have a better price than the closing number. And the theory is that the last number before the game starts, the closing line, is the most efficient number that the market can produce because you have all the information. The sharp books are looking at who's betting both sides of the line. They're adjusting. So the market always finds the most efficient number before game time. So if you can beat that number, the most efficient number in the market, then you'll be profitable long term. Like I said, I'll just pull up my Pickett chart here. This is all time. Like I said, I have like 27,000 wagers placed in the past year and a half. 27,000 wagers, pretty much like a clear path straight upwards. $58,000 in profit, 3.61% ROI. Like plus EV betting works. Like this is not a scam. You're going to have, I've had back-to-back losing months. Like this happens. You wouldn't look at this chart and think that I had any types of down stretches, but like this little bump from March 6th, $35,000 to March 26th, I lost like $3-4 grand there. Like, I don't know. It's good though. 3K. Here's a good question too. ET said, is 3K a good limit to look for when finding steam plays? So like, honestly, if the market is steaming in one direction, I don't care about the limit size that much. I'm more comfortable with a play that is like a flat line where the market isn't moving. That's where I kind of want to see the bigger limits because that market is less likely to get influenced, to move one way or the other. So 3K just makes you feel a little bit more. I mean, the higher the limit, if you can find a good play that has 10K limits, then you feel great. And 3 is kind of just that number where I start feeling a little confident, a little more confident. Jeff said that he hit a 22% EV play on a Luka assist on Hard Rock and then woke up to $10 limits on that platform. Yeah, so I always recommend this too. If you see like a 20% EV play, first of all, it's either an error by the book or whatever service is flagging it. So if it's an error by the service that is flagging it, you probably just placed like some really dumb bet that didn't have 20% EV. Or if it actually is 20% EV, you just hit it on a book that is going to realize that they, mispriced a line terribly. And when they see 150 people all hit the same line at the same time because they're using like Plus EV services, then they're going to limit you down, not want your action because you're going to be categorized with the other sharp bettors that were hitting that line. Jiggy said that he just asked it because people on Twitter saying that OddsJam is giving out fake EV plays. Yeah, so there's been some discussion on like how you calculate EV. So you can calculate it wrong and give out like non-EV plays, I would say. For the most part, when you're betting like main lines, like spreads, totals, and money lines, if you're looking for your fair value price to like the sharp books, Pinnacle, Circa, and Bookmaker, then you're going to be fine. But if you're trying to beat like props and you're using like a combination of like different books to find that fair value or EV, then that's where it could be misleading. I struggled with OddsJam betting MLB props, like absolutely smoked with OddsJam. So I would say that they definitely have a couple of things that they should probably fix, because they have the OddsJam algo, which is like, it just tells you what play to take, but you can like click in and see where the market is moving and like just do like a little extra research to probably figure it out. But yeah, I get what you mean. All right, looks at FanDuel ping again. Doesn't even look like a lot of these books are just like one book have a line out, because I think most of these are these Hawks Philly game where there's still a lot of uncertainty. Already hit the Trailblazers. This Hawk chart is kind of crazy. See Bally bet. Bally's a Camby book. They have some really bad lines. So Celtics Jazz. This game seems like it's moving all over the place too. Celtics minus 13.5 got a little bit of a price increase. Portland Trailblazers still look good. Under first quarter points, like I said, it's kind of a small market. DraftKings empty. Let's see if we can get this one. Oh, our links are broken. This one's probably going to be instant dead too, but I'll look. All right, what are we looking at here? Okay, C and the Nuggets. I got a couple questions in the chat that I'll get to. I'm bad at remembering these numbers. All right, over 239.5 plus 110. I'd be kind of shocked if it was here. It's even money now. Fair value is 101, so we would need to get a better price than 101, and we're only getting 100, so that's no longer a good play. All right, that seems like most of the plays. I'll answer a couple of questions. Actually, let's see these props. DraftKings is a little bit of an outlier there. I wouldn't mind playing that one, but all right, let me get to some of these questions. All right, Josh asked, let's pull it up here. What have we noticed for baseball? What books have been the sharpest? With it coming up shortly, he wants to know if he wants to keep his POD sub. So same thing, Pinnacle, Bookmaker, Circle are all really sharp. Pinnacle, it will be a sharp book for sure. So I if you can support the sub, then I would keep it. If you want to use it like, in coordination with our bots or something. Hopefully we have limits set by baseball season starts, so you might not need it. We might do most of what Pinnacle Odds Dropper does, but they have this history of prices over here, and there's a lot more that they can offer that we can't, obviously. So that's up to you. But yeah, Pinnacle itself is a really sharp book for for that. I think some people struggled with like team totals to Pinnacle last year. FanDuel seemed like they might be all right on setting team totals. But that's another thing where if you just see like steam coming in on one side, then I would play it, but maybe not play like a flat market against Pinnacle. Jiggy asked if I R-bet too. So I don't R-bet, pretty much because, well, a couple reasons. A lot of the like R-betting will get you limited quicker, and like your accounts will not last as long. But it is a really quick and easy way to make money. So I'm not opposed to people doing it. But if you want to go long term, like with your accounts, then I would just recommend not arbing. And the other thing with R-betting is you're placing two bets, right? One on each side of the line. Most likely one play is a plus EV play, and the other one is slightly negative EV. So for me, long term, you'll make more money if you just can identify which side is plus EV and leave the slightly negative side alone. So that's just my kind of look at it. I know a lot of people are killing like the live arbitrage betting, which I would love to get into because your limits are a little higher. It's a little easier to disguise. But around like 7-8 o'clock, that's when I'm done sport betting for the day. And obviously, if you're live betting, you're going to be on your computer or phone betting during the game. So that's kind of when the games start, that's kind of my downtime. Yeah, baseball, we can take a look at my ticket chart here, but I'll get you guys fired up for some baseball. All-time baseball. I think I have pretty good ROI. Yeah, 7.35%. It's like I just last year. I think I had a little bit of a dip at, let's looking at this year. I think I had a little bit of a dip at the end of the year. But yeah, pretty good last year, 2.8%, 6K in profit. I'll show you, let's go all-time. I'll show you my all-time FanDuel. I don't know if I can do all-time FanDuel for baseball, but I'll try to show you where I was getting smoked with OddsJam. Yeah, so this doesn't look like much, but this is when I started EV betting, March of 2023. I lost from March to October. I lost like $2,200. That doesn't seem like much now, but at the time I was only betting like $20 a play, so I was getting absolutely smoked on OddsJam. And then I ended up upgrading to their platinum plan, which had line movement, and then I started to recover and beat FanDuel. And then by like this time in April, this is when I started building the SharpMoney Discord, and we built all these bots. And then from there on out, it's pretty much been all like 95% SharpMoney bets from there. So if we got rid of this first chunk of OddsJam, it would have been great. All right, that's going to do it for me. I'm actually going to do a live stream for Outlier right now, which is another EV service that I make content for them. So that'll be on my YouTube channel. If you guys are already on YouTube and just want to hop over there, that's cool. Give me about 5 minutes to send out some notifications, and I'm going to we'll find some more NBA bets with the Outlier page, and we'll be using Pinnacle Odds Dropper as well. I might even reference the Discord a couple of times, so we'll see what happens. But all right, thanks for watching. We're hoping to do these streams at least once a week, hopefully with Math Wins, Jeff, and I think even Sigma Bets is gonna come on as well. All right, see you guys.